Have you ever contemplated what it means to meet your higher self? This is not a question of the ordinary, but a query that plunges into the depths of our consciousness, exploring the enigmatic nature of our existence. The higher self, a concept that may seem elusive, yet it is the very essence of our being, the epitome of our individual consciousness. It is not bound by societal norms, nor is it shackled by self-imposed constraints. It is, in its purest form, the embodiment of liberation and authenticity. This higher self, however, is not a destination reached overnight. It is an ongoing journey of self-discovery, of shedding layers of accumulated conditioning and aberrations acquired through the course of our evolution. It is about attaining a state of superiority, not over others but over outdated information about ourselves that we have clung to for far too long. The higher self is not merely a theory to be debated upon, but an experiential reality to be lived. It is a constant state of awareness, a relentless pursuit of evolution. It is about remembering a language forgotten by the human brain, a language that communicates through energetic connections and information. The beauty of the higher self lies in its simplicity. It is an axiom, a fundamental truth that is evident in itself without any need for demonstration. It is above all that we know, yet it is within all that we are. It is the consciousness of man, liberated from any aberration, any conditioning, any limitation. So let us embark on this journey of self-discovery, of unraveling the enigma that is the higher self. Let us learn to listen to the forgotten language, to acknowledge the energetic connections, and to embrace the liberation of our consciousness. Imagine being in a state where you are superior to outdated information, fully aware and constantly evolving. That's what it means to discover your higher self. But how do we embark on this journey towards self-discovery and enlightenment? Picture this. You're standing at the edge of a vast forest. This forest is your life, filled with as many twists and turns as there are trees. It's dense and at times daunting. But within this forest there's a path that leads to an open field, a field of understanding, enlightenment and self-discovery. This is your journey towards the higher self. As you journey into the forest, you encounter various life experiences. These experiences are like the trees around you. Some stand tall and strong, representing the joyous and triumphant moments. Others seem weathered and worn, symbolizing the trials and tribulations of life. But each tree, each experience holds a lesson, a stepping stone towards your higher self. As you delve deeper into the forest, you start to recognize patterns that have been repeated throughout your life. They are like the winding trails that loop back on themselves. These patterns reveal habits and behaviors that have held you back, that have kept you from reaching your higher self. But with recognition comes the power to change, to carve a new path. In the heart of the forest, you come across a mirror-like lake. The lake is a reflection of your inner self, revealing the truths that you may have ignored or denied. It shows you your strengths, your weaknesses, your fears, and your dreams. It's a moment of self-realization, a pivotal point in your journey towards the higher self. As you leave the forest behind and step into the open field, you feel a sense of liberation and enlightenment. You've shed the layers of conditioning, unlearned the obsolete information, and acknowledged your authentic self. You've embarked on a journey of self-discovery and emerged as your higher self. Each encounter, each connection leads us closer to our authentic self, our higher self. What if I told you that there's a forgotten language that can guide us on this journey? A language not of words, but of energy, vibrations, and intuition. A language that has been overlooked by modern society, but is deeply ingrained in each one of us. This, my friends, is the language of the soul. Often we find ourselves drawn to certain places, people, or experiences without really knowing why. We feel a pull, a connection that is inexplicable. But what if that inexplicable connection is actually a conversation? A dialogue between your higher self and the universe. This is the concept of the ancient language forgotten by the human brain, a language that connects us energetically, This language is not about letters and sounds, it's about feelings and sensations. It's about understanding the subtle shifts in energy around us and within us. It's about listening to that quiet voice inside that whispers, "This is the way, follow this path." That voice is not merely a figment of your imagination, it's your higher self communicating with you in the language of the soul. This language could be interpreted as intuition, a gut feeling, or a sense of being in tune with the universe. It's the sudden inspiration that strikes in the quiet moments. It's the feeling of peace that washes over you when you make a decision that's in alignment with your higher self. It's the sense of knowing without knowing how you know. Imagine being able to tap into this language consciously, to understand its subtle signals and respond in kind. Imagine being able to navigate life with the certainty that you are in tune with your higher self, guided by an ancient wisdom that transcends time and space. Learning to speak and understand this language is not an overnight process. It takes practice and patience. It requires quieting the mind and tuning into the heart. But the rewards are immense. For when we master this language, we unlock the door to our higher self. We tap into a source of wisdom, guidance, and love that is far greater than anything we can comprehend with our human minds. This is the language of the soul, the key to understanding and revealing our higher self. The first step to discovering our higher self is acknowledging its existence. This is an essential truth that we must grasp to embark on this journey of self-discovery. Acknowledgement here is not a mere nod or a passing glance, but a deep, profound acceptance of our higher self's existence. It's a realization that transcends our everyday understanding, leading us to a realm of self-awareness that is both liberating and empowering. Denial, on the other hand, is a formidable barrier on this path. It's like a thick fog that obscures our vision and impedes our progress. When we deny the existence of our higher self, we are denying a fundamental part of who we are. This denial stems from an array of deeply ingrained beliefs and fears that we've accumulated throughout our lives. It's the voice in our head that whispers, "You're not enough, you can't do it," or "It's too hard." But here's the thing, denial doesn't serve us. It only keeps us stuck in a cycle of self-doubt and self-criticism. However, when we acknowledge our higher self, we shine a light on this fog of denial. We start to see our fears and doubts for what they truly are, illusions that have no real power over us. This acknowledgement allows us to let go of outdated beliefs and emotional baggage that no longer serve us. It opens the door to emotional liberation, a state of being where we are free to express our true selves without fear or judgment. The power of acknowledgement is not just about realizing our higher self's existence, it's about accepting that we are more than our physical bodies, more than our thoughts and emotions. We are spiritual beings having a human experience, and our higher self is the essence of our true nature. By acknowledging this, we are taking the first step towards aligning with our higher self and unlocking our full potential. So remember, acknowledgement isn't just a step, it's a leap. A leap towards self-discovery, self-acceptance, and ultimately self-love. As we make this leap, we are not just acknowledging our higher self, we are embracing it, welcoming it, and opening ourselves up to its wisdom and guidance. Acknowledgement is the first step on the path to meeting your higher self. So what have we learned about the journey towards our higher self? Through our exploration, we've come to understand that the higher self is not some far-off mystical entity. It's the purest form of our consciousness, free from the shackles of accumulated conditioning and aberrations. It's the authentic self, a beacon of light guiding us through the obscurity of our unconsciousness. We've delved into the journey towards self-discovery, a path that each one of us must traverse. It's a journey that is not linear, but rather a spiral, where we continually revisit lessons, deepening our understanding and refining our perceptions. The journey is about unearthing the wisdom within us to recognize our inner light. It's about acknowledging our strengths, embracing our weaknesses, and learning to dance in the rhythm of life. We've also explored the language of the soul, a language that transcends words and reaches the core of our being. This language is one of intuition, of feelings, of knowing without reasoning. It's the language of our higher self, softly whispering to us, guiding us towards authenticity. And when we learn to listen, to truly listen, we begin to understand the symphony of our existence, the melody of our being. Moreover, we've discovered the power of acknowledgement, the power of accepting our aberrations, our conditioning, and our unconscious patterns. When we acknowledge these aspects, not with judgment but with compassion and understanding, we start to liberate ourselves from their grip. We begin to rise above them, becoming superior to outdated information. And in that moment of acknowledgement, we remember our higher self, and the journey towards it becomes clearer. In essence, we've unearthed a treasure trove of insights about the higher self and the journey towards it. We've learned that the voyage is not about reaching a destination, but rather about the journey itself. It's about continually evolving, growing, and becoming more in tune with our authentic self. Remember, the journey towards the higher self is a lifelong process, but each step you take brings you closer to becoming the best version of yourself.